month of February and March. So without further ado, let's go on with the video. From the month of January to the month of March, I actually read 10 books, but 6 of these are actually manga and webtoon, and 4 of them are actual novels. So for today, I will only talk about the novels that I read, but if you want me to also make a video about webtoon or manga, just let me know in the comment section down below. Okay, so the first book that I read in the month of February is called Project Loki by AkoSiIbara. It is a murder mystery fiction. This book is about 2 students named Loki and Lorelei. And what's interesting about this book is that there are numerous crimes that have been happening in their school, and it seems to be organized by only one person, and this person calls himself Moriarty. If you don't know already, Moriarty is actually the antagonist in Sherlock Holmes. And these crimes are what the QED Club is trying to solve. Now, what is the QED Club? It's basically a club in their campus where students take care of crimes that is happening around the school, whatever crime it is, no matter how simple or how complicated these tasks are. So basically, the characters in the QED Club are detectives. Like, I don't really read a lot of murder mystery kind of books, but this book is so fantastic and I really enjoyed it. I learned a lot of ciphers and codes from this book, and like, I'm trying to use it on my journal. The thing that I was most disappointed about is that there was no love line in this book. I was really expecting that there will be romance in this book, since Lorelei and Loki both live in the same apartment, but sadly it did not happen. And yeah, as I said before, this book is really interesting that I couldn't even stop reading it. That's all I'm going to say about this book, but I might make a book talk that is called Project Loki Volume 1 Book Talk. Wow! But anyways, I rate this book 9 out of 10 stars. And the next book that I read in the month of February is called City of Thousand Dolls by Miriam Forster. Like Project Loki, this is also a murder mystery book. Honestly, I just read this book without knowing literally anything about it. Like, literally, I didn't know what this book was about. I didn't know what was the genre. I did not even read the synopsis. So the City of 1,000 Dolls is basically a city, obviously. What else? Okay, it's basically a city where only girls resides. And why is that? So in their society, couples can only have 2 children maximum. So what happens is that they try to get rid of their daughters and they keep their sons, because for them, the daughters are useless, or they are not as good as like the males, for example. But yeah, in this city, the girls are divided into castes, something like that. Anyways, houses. They are divided into different houses depending on their characteristic and their skills. So there's, like, for example, there's the House of Beauty, where they train the beautiful girls and like the flawless girls to be like attractive and pretty, and so there's also the House of Jade, where they train girls to become healers or doctors, and allegedly there is a House of Assassins, where they are trained to assassinate. But yeah, these girls are actually being prepared for the day of the redeeming. The redeeming is a day when a bunch of these girls gets purchased by people to make them into their wife, workers, slaves, or whatsoever. The main character in this book is named Nisha. She was abandoned by her parents from a very young age. She doesn't really belong to any of the caste, but she is Matron's assistant. So that means that she can go to like end of the houses to deliver letters or messages, and also she can train or assist in whatever houses that she like. For example, she can assist the healers in the House of Jade. She also dance in the House of Music, for example, and she trains in the House of Horror. But anyways, in this book, you can only be redeemed or be purchased by someone if you have a specific case. But yeah, even though Nisha doesn't have a case, she still wants to be purchased by her secret/forbidden boyfriend. But a few days before the redeeming, some of the girls started to die one by one, and Nisha personally volunteered to investigate these murders that are happening in here, even though she is putting herself in danger. Oh, and also in this book, there are Sunes who are trying to blend in the human society. So what are Sunes? Basically, Sunes are cats who can transform into human, or human who can transform into cats. And not to mention, Nisha actually has cat friends and she can communicate with them. What does that mean? I don't know, it's for you to find out. Moving on, personally I think that this book is quite interesting. It made me want to read the second book of it, but sadly, it did not leave that much of impression on me after reading it. I just think that the plot is quite predictable and I did not get that much attached to the characters. And also I'm not really fond of the main character, Nisha, because she's quite naive and she lacks maturity for the genre of this book. And yeah, I think that the most exciting part in this book is the last 50 pages or so. It's just that there were a lot of surprises and revelations at the end of the book. Overall, I would rate this book 8 out of 10 stars. And the next book that I read in the month of February is Legend by Mary. This is the first book of the Legend trilogy. The second book is called Prodigy and the third one is called Champion. Anyways, Legend takes place in the future. In this book, the Western United States is now called the Republic, and it is now separated from the rest of the United States. And I think that the rest of the United States is now called Colony in this book. Actually, I think that this book takes place in the far future, because it seems that they don't even remember that United States existed as a country before. Like, now, most of the population in the Republic is living in poverty. There's plague that's going on and that there's a lot of people that are dying. And also, once children turn 10, they take this one big exam that will basically determine their future. So if you pass, you will be sent to prestigious universities or academies for you to be trained as a competent soldier. But if you fail, you will be sent to your death, or who knows what they will do to you. What's fun about this book is that there are actually two main characters and they switch their point of view on every chapter. So the first main character's name is Day, the second one is June. Okay, so let's take a look here. So like when we're reading Day's point of view, the print is actually color gold. And if we're reading June's point of view, the print is color black. So first, let's talk about Day. Day was born in a very poor area, basically the slums. Since he failed the test that they took when they were 10 years old, everyone thought that he's already dead. But it turns out that he is actually alive and he is the most wanted criminal in the country. Because after all the crimes that he has done, he has never ever been caught and no one even knows how he looks like or what's his age. But as readers, we know that he is only 15 years old. Oh, and also another interesting thing about him is that even though he is the most wanted criminal, he actually has never ever killed anyone. Now let's move on to the other main character, who is June. Now, unlike Day, June is born in one of the richest districts in the country, so she is really privileged and all that. And also she is quite famous because she is what they call a prodigy. She is called the prodigy because, as far as everyone knows, she is the only one who has a perfect score in the test that they take when they are 10 years old. And also she excels a lot as a student. In fact, she is the best. Okay, so the plot goes like this. As I told you before, Day is actually born in poverty. Even though his family thinks that he's dead already, he still helps them. So what he tried to do was like steal cure for the plague and send it to his family. But then at the same night, Jun's brother was murdered and the prime suspect was Dae. So basically what Jun did is that she went undercover to personally look for Dae and also to avenge his brother. So as you can guess already, they eventually met and there's a lot of story going on in here, a lot of action. The characters are really interesting and intriguing and the plot is also fantastic. I really enjoyed this book and I give it a 9.2 out of 10 stars. Again, Legend by Mario 2. Now, the last book that I read is called The Queen of the Tearling by Erika Johansen. This is actually a trilogy and this is the first book. Okay, so first off, I thought that this book takes place in the past because the way that the clothings were described are like the ones in the medieval times, and also they don't use cars as transportation, they use horses, and they don't have technology like the ones that we do right now, like zero technology. But believe it or not, this book actually takes place in the far future where the civilization has crashed down. It's in the future but the technologies have vanished and we're back in the old way of living our lives. And also in the Tearling, it's been a really long time since they last had a queen, so the government became really corrupt. And we can say that no one is actually governing or supervising the country. This book is really fantastic, starting from her journey from the cottage to the keep. There was a lot of action that is going on in there because there's a lot of the late queen's enemy who was trying to assassinate Kelsey. And her journey was so dangerous that even the queen's guard who came to pick her up from the cottage weren't even sure if they can make it to the keep alive. But then when Kelsey arrived to her kingdom, she saw that people are living in extreme poverty and they are living this unfortunate circumstances. For example, they have established this kind of lottery where they will take some of your family, for example, your children, your brother, your sister, your wife, they will take them and then they will be brought to the queen of the neighbor kingdom and then they will be turned into slaves or whatsoever. But yeah, when she was ascending to the throne, she was really trying her best to change the current politics and government that is in place at the moment. I really love the main character in this book because, as I said already, she has a strong character, she's wise, not only smart but really wise, and she can also defend herself unlike some of the other female characters. Oh, I really love this part. There was one point in the book where she actually got stabbed, but like she didn't let that stop her from doing what she needs to do. So she was like, don't you dare stop, just bring it on, bring it on. Out of all the fictional queens, I think that she is the best one so far. I really love most of the characters in this book except for the ones that I hated, but I hated them because they were the antagonists. So good job author for making me dislike them. But yeah, there were two characters that really caught my attention in this book. The first one is Lazarus of the Maze. He is the most loyal and also the strongest Queen's Guard. And the second one is the Fetch, who is like kind of a Robin Hood character. Oh, and also by the way, this book is very descriptive and very detailed, so you might find it a bit hard to enjoy this book if you are not a patient reader. Honestly, I'm not much of a patient reader either, but I still enjoyed reading this book because it is so fantastic. Yeah, I like that it's very detailed and descriptive because thanks to it, we can really visualize what is happening on every scene. We can visualize really well the characters and the actions that they're doing. And also there's this necklace that Kelsey always wears. There's actually something magical about it, even though I don't really understand how it works yet or what's the power of it. Maybe we'll learn more about it on the second book, I guess. So yeah, I gave this book 9.7 out of 10 stars. I just removed 0.2 point because I am not a patient reader and it's really long and descriptive, as I just keep saying. And also I deducted 0.1 point because there's no love line in it. At least not in the first book, I guess. Just let me know down in the comment section below if there's a romance that's gonna happen here. So that's all for the books that I have read in the month of February and March. Let me know in the comment section down below if you already read some of the books that I have mentioned in this video. And also don't hesitate to let me know what are the books that you read in the month of March or even in February. So yeah, thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to leave a like, please subscribe to my channel, and please hit the notification bell. If you want to follow me on my Instagram, it's called lala.booksland. And yeah, that's it for this video. See you on the next one. Bye bye.